Okay, yes, I did. Just stop the explanation video and start this one. And so here is the first card of the first game. Y'all, of course I'm going backwards. No one is surprised that I'm moving back 4 spaces. And that means I get to play a new TBR game. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so the way I do it, you guys know I have these 10 games down here at the bottom. Pick a number 1 to 10.
It's 6.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Snakes and Ladders is the game that we are going to be playing. Okay, so we're back. I added those books in here, the 5 books I just picked. Well, there are 6, but The Babysitter Lives is in group number 5, so I only have 5 new books for this. Anyway, they're all right here on this one. And I have to pick another card because the new TBR just says I need to play a new TBR game, not that I need to do a new TBR. So you guys will see the TBR game that I played, but you'll see the books right here, but you'll see the TBR game that I played in the next video that's coming out. Actually, it'll already be out by the time this happens. Anyway. Okay, next pick. A 7. And I think a 7 is just a 7. Move forward 7. Here we go. Okay, Sims TBR book. So I go to my Sims TBR and I just pick a number 1 to 5.
The answer is 3.
Oh my gosh, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This is Wesley's pick, my son. Okay, so this is the first one that I'm going to be reading for the new Monstrosity. Yes, it took us a while to get here, but here we are. Okay, so last night it was 2 in the morning and I was just too tired to do anything. Here is the video of me drawing my next book or drawing my next number, moving to those spaces on the board. And it was actually a wild card, which means I had to flip a coin to see if I was going to go forward or backwards. I got to go forward, and then I had to roll a d6 to see how many spaces forward I was going to move, and I got to go 5 spaces forward, which is fantastic. And that means that I finished Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and I didn't get to tell y'all about them, but I wanted to show you. My son brought his book to me and let me use it to read as I was listening. It's illustrated. So pretty. It came from Barnes & Noble. It's one of the special editions from Barnes & Noble. So I read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and he really just wanted to talk about how weird I thought it all was, and I truly did. Like, I know I read this book a long time ago, but I cannot remember much about it at all. Yes, I have left my house today, by the way, but I was wearing a hat. So nobody saw my hair looking like this, except y'all get to see it. I wouldn't go out in public in real life, but I apparently have no problem showing the whole internet what this hair looks like right now. Anyway, I am now reading the next book, which was a random number generator. And so I went over here, I counted up the books, I did the random number generator, all of that was recorded, and I am reading Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This was one of the Snakes and Ladders games books, which I know that video hasn't come out yet. I just sat down today and actually planned out when the videos were going to come. And in my brain, I was going to film all of the TBR games before I started the Monstrosity. But 2 things. Number 1, I didn't have anything else left to read because I finished all of my April books. And number 2, I was really, really excited to start it. And I just had to start Monstrosity. So I started it before I was fully prepared. Also, I just realized I'm covering it all up. I'm sorry. So what I did was I left Alice's book right here, which is where I read it when I landed on this spot. I've got my sunshine right here where we started, and we're trying to make our way back there. And I am currently right here where this sunshine is, and Part of Your World is on there. So as I was saying, this is part of the Snakes and Ladders thing that I know you guys haven't seen the video for that yet. So my plan is that I'm just going to continue to put out the TBR videos, and then these Monstrosity videos will come out as I finish another 5 books. So they're going to go in 5-book increments, and we're on book number 2 right now. Yes, technically I read 2 books yesterday because Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is a different book than Through the Looking Glass, but we counted them as 1 book. So I'm on book number 2. And that's where I am right now. I'm about halfway through with this, and I think it's very cute. It's a little bit deeper. It deals with some emotional abuse, nothing physical. Not right now anyway. But it does deal with some other stuff and just the burdens that are placed on children because of legacies in lots of different ways. So anyway, I like it a lot so far. And that's it. I'll check back in with you when I finish reading it and we're ready to pick something else. But I just had to come and explain what happened last night and talk about Alice and show off this very pretty book that we have. Okay, yes, it's the same day. Yes, I just finished Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I am so happy that this is the first book in a series because I need more of this town. It is the cutest. It's the cutest little town, and so I need more of it. But now it is time to draw another card. So here are the 3 that I've drawn so far. Right there. I'm going to shuffle one more time because I can't not shuffle. Okay, here we go. It is a 7. Wait, I think that's good because I think it just means move 7 spaces forward. Nice. Okay, here we go. Okay, it is one of my Roadrunner books. Okay, well, I know that you haven't seen the Roadrunner TBR, and it's coming up, and now I hate it because I feel like I'm spoiling so many things. So, I don't know. Because I don't know how long this game's going to go, so I don't know how many other things we're going to spoil. Like, I just don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, these books are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Ron. What? Can you pick a number 1 to 6? He said 4. So that is this one. So this is the next book I'm going to be reading. It goes right here on the blue space. At least it's on the blue space and not the yellow. Like for some reason I feel like it'll be harder to see when it's on the yellow. Anyway, let me move it backwards so that our sunshine can come out and I'll be able to move the sunshine around next time. But that's where we are. That's what I'm reading. Book number 3. I kind of want to tell you guys to let me know what you think about like ruining some of the TBRs that are coming up, but I don't know any other way to play it unless okay, well, I said in the intro to the Monstrosity that I was going to immediately put out the first episode of Monstrosity, but I guess y'all have discovered that that's not what happened because I'm going to have to put out all of these first, all of the TBRs, at least the ones that I need for the first Monstrosity. They're going to have to come first. I'm just going to keep pushing it, I guess. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Y'all have figured it out. I'm going to go read this book. Okay, I have not finished Dial A for Aunties, but I'm going to be able to read tonight in my bed and tomorrow morning in my bed. So by then, I will for sure be finished with it. So we're going to go ahead and see what the next one is, what the next card is, and what it means. And then tomorrow I will come in here. It's a 3. Oh my gosh. That means 3 more books. So definitely be the last 3 books, but let's see what we have to do. Okay. And as I was saying, I will come back tomorrow and tell you what I thought about the book. Okay, a 3 is just like on Bailey's game. We do all 3 prompts. So I have to read under 500 pages, a 50 before 50 book, and a Jenga book. I don't know if you've noticed, but back here is all of my Jenga blocks, and they all have things on them, whatever, prompts on them. So I love this game. Okay, so really all I need to pick is my next less than 500 page book, and maybe I'll pick something definitely less than 500, like this Nothing Special right here, which is one of my NetGalley books. It's a graphic novel, and I have 1 and 2. So I think I'm going to pick that one as my under 500 page book, because it doesn't say how much under 500, just under 500. So I put that there. Let me move it backwards. Okay, great. And then I can move my sunshine over here to a 50 before 50 book. And I don't know what I'm going to pick. I will decide while I'm reading Nothing Special, but at least I'll know what I need to pick. So I'll be back tomorrow to talk about Dial A for aunties. And then I'll tell you about the graphic novel and whatever 50 before 50 book. And then we will wrap this up with one of my Jenga books. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm back to tell you that the book I picked was Sorcery by Terry Pratchett, which is just the next book on my 50 before 50 I have a lot left in Discworld, and so I just picked the next Discworld book. So that's what I'm reading. And then for my Jenga book, I have these 5 books right here. So I can't decide. Pick a number 1 to 5.
The answer is 3.
Okay, so it looks like I'm going to get that Libby book. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Okay, and then that is where I will end up right there. Let me move my little sunshine forward. So, but I am over here. So I'm going to keep my sunshine where I actually am and then move through the next 3 books because at least they're picked and ready to go. And then that will be the end of the first one of these. This has been so much fun. But anyway, back to reading. Okay, I finished the Nothing Special book right here. And what's funny is it's supposed to be less than 500 pages. And I was like, oh, I'm going to grab this graphic novel. It was 417 pages. So it was less than 500 pages, but it was not as short as I thought it was going to be. However, it was adorable. If you have anybody that loves like portal worlds that go to imaginary places, and this book was fantastic. And I'm so glad that I have the second series or the second episode. They're not called episodes. They're not even called issues, because this is actually a bind up of a lot of them. So it's the volume 1, and I have volume 2. So I'm really happy that I have the second one. I don't know if they're out yet, but I really want a physical copy of this. The illustrations in it are so good, and the storyline is fantastic. We have our main character, who is a girl who is being raised by her dad, and she was told from the very young age, you cannot go through this gate. Like, don't go to the gate, don't go near the gate. You cannot go in the gate until you're 17. Like, apparently magical things happen to you when you turn 17. And so she just regular goes to school and lives her life knowing that there is some kind of gate on the other side that she can't go to. And her dad goes missing, and she goes after her dad, and we find out why she probably shouldn't have gone through the gate. It is so good. So good. And the little side characters are the absolute best. They're so snarky, and I loved it. I really loved it. So now I'm reading Terry Pratchett's Sorcery, which is my 50 before 50 book. And then I will be reading Never Lie. But I'll come back when I finish Sorcery and tell you about that one. Monstrosity round 1 is over. I was only going to read 5 books, but you guys know what happened. Anyway, let me tell you about Sorcery, and then I'll tell you about Never Lie. So I didn't expect to finish Never Lie so quickly, but it was only 7 hours on one-time speed on audio. So Sorcery is book 5, I think, in Discworld. And there's a thing in Discworld about the 8th son of an 8th son that has to do with magic. I think it finally hit me in this book that there's a difference in a wizard and a sorcerer. And for some reason, I had just lumped those 2 things together, but apparently they're different. And I learned about it in this one. We get to see Death again, which I like. I like the character of Death in the Discworld. And we also meet the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in a kind of weird way, which I think is fantastic. Also, it's weird that on the Discworld, they have the same 4 horsemen that our Bible has, even though we're not floating around on a disc in space. I mean, I guess technically we're floating around on a sphere in space. What space? What's wrong with me? It is too early in the morning. So anyway, this was about a boy who was born the eighth son of an eighth son of an eighth son. I'm just like, what? Anyway, his dad did not want to take care of him, any of his other kids, until this last one. And he was like, oh, this is it. This is going to be the one. Well, then Death shows up to kill the dad. And he's like, the dad goes, how long do I have? And Death's like, about 8 seconds. Like, he's always, anyway, I just like Death a lot. So he actually, there's something to do with a wizard when they touch their staff, when they accept their staff, it's now theirs and you can't like do anything to take it away. That's also a thing in Discworld. So the dad somehow binds his own soul with this staff as he hands it to his son. So he kind of cheated Death in that he is now in the staff, but he's not. Death didn't get to take him. So he then can speak through the staff. We also find out way more about the suitcase from the very beginning. We also have Rincewind in this one, who I think might be my favorite character. But the fact that this man just does not want to go on any adventures and he somehow accidentally ends up on so many adventures, it was great. But we got to meet the luggage officially. He got his own, it got its own POV at one point from the luggage, a couple of points actually. So anyway, it was book 5. If you know anything about Discworld, it was just more of the same nonsense. Then I read Never Lie. And like I said, I didn't expect to finish it so quickly last night. But again, it was not very long. It is not my favorite kind of thriller. Like, I do not like domestic thrillers. And it was a husband and wife that go out to a property to check out the property in the middle of a blizzard. On the way out there, the husband was like, why didn't you check the weather? And I wanted to be like, bruh, you could have checked the weather as well. Like, anyway, that very beginning part made me go, I do not like him. Also, I did not like her. And also, the house that they're going to look at belonged to a writer who disappeared like 3 years before. I did not like her either. Like, there's one character in this book that I thought had redeeming qualities. Everybody else, I did not like them. So, I mean, I don't know. It was a good twist, though, because I will say, I did not see it coming when it happened. I was predicting something completely different for who may be responsible for the lady's disappearance and all of that. But, so it had a really good twist. I'm probably going to give it like 3.5 stars. I need to be able to like the characters. I'm in a book for the characters. And these characters were all despicable people. But that is it. That's going to do it for my very first episode of Monstrosity. I made it, let's see, I started right here and I went all the way across and up here and all the way down here. So I don't know. I didn't make it very far now that I look at it. But we've always got another one. I mean, this is supposed to take like 5 to 6 episodes. So we'll see. But I'm about to start the new one right now and I'm very excited about it. So I am going to be done with this video. Let me know what you thought about this whole situation with my monstrosity. And if you've read any of these books that I read. Also, if you have read any of these books, I need to go through and take off the ones that I have finished and scooch this all down a little bit. But that's it. That is going to do it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.